Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie and I'd like to welcome you to project 515. Now this week we've had a theme of love and romance and today we're going to end on a very high note. Today's project isn't a card making project, we're going to make a shadow box frame scrapbook page. It's very ornate and there's a lot of preparation gone into this one. We've used quite a lot of products from Griffin. And it creates, I would say, the most gorgeous keepsake. You would be able to create so many different kinds of keepsakes using this method, and it's the ideal gift to give to somebody as well. If you're stuck for something to give them, you don't know what to buy as a present, maybe a leaving present, maybe a wedding present, even a birthday present, you could use this idea, make them a shadow box frame scrapbooking page with something that's precious to them, and then wrap it up in tissue, nice big fancy tag. I promise you they will cry and they will love you forever for it. This project is also very special to me because it's my wedding anniversary today, and that's why we've built up throughout the week using our theme of love and romance and using photos. So thank you for indulging me. Everything I do use will put in a detailed list on my blog, so please be sure to check that out. There's always lots more photos on there as well. You can always comment on YouTube or on Facebook. There's lots of places you can find me and all the links are at the end of the video. I will also put a link on the blog for how to make the shadow box frame because I made it a few weeks ago and it's been a very popular video. It's very easy to create and once you've seen it decorated, I think you will love it. So don't forget to give me the thumbs up and share with your crafty friends. So let's have a look at today's project. So what we're going to be using in today's project is the Griffin Beautiful Trimmings embossing folder and die, and this is the leaf border. Now if for any reason you don't have this, you would be able to substitute it, but you're going to need something that's 12 inches long. However, I would say look for something that's very similar, because as you see as we go along, this is sort of a key part of it, of our project. We're also going to be using the mini French fan dies. We're going to be using this one at the top. We're also going to be using the shadow die as well. Now we're also going to be using the all four corners cut and embossed dies. We're going to be using the top one with the hearts on it. So those are just a few of the things, well, the dies that we're going to be using. So now I've got to say, I think I might have mentioned this in the actual intro, but this is one of the biggest projects I've ever undertaken. So it's kind of like lots and lots of parts to it. Now a few weeks ago I made a shadow frame and showed you how to make it, and I said that we'd be using it in more of our projects. Now today, with it being a special project, this is where it's going to come into its own. So I've made a shadow frame box and it measures 12 inches by 12 inches. The back of it is a full scrapbooking sheet. I've made it just as I did in the actual demonstration previously. I'll put a link to that on my blog as well anyway. And all I've done is made it exactly the same, but it's a different size. So the base is 12 inches by 12 inches. The sides are still 1 inch by 12 inches long. So my centre is 10 inches. So I have 10 inches to play with in here. Now on the back, as I've shown you, we had ivory, and then I actually added a sheet from the Charlotte collection, a sheet of paper, just inside before I put the actual borders on. So that's the only difference. I could have used the Charlotte for the full base of it, but I didn't. I cut it down a little bit just to fit underneath the actual sides and tops of the shadow frame. So that's the basis of our project, and that's what we're going to build onto. Everything is just so beautiful for this project, and there's a lot of prep gone into it, and I really hope at the end of it I'm going to sit back and think, wow, that looks how I imagined it. So that'd be cool if that happens. So my first layer that's going to go in the shadow frame box is a sheet from the Anna Griffin Feathers collection from the papers. I've got this on 3D foam, lots and lots of 3D foam, and that's going to act as our base layer. Now I'm going to try and get this positioned in the centre of my frame. I'm sat down and you're looking down on it, so I'm just going to do that to make sure it's roughly in the centre. So I can press that down, and our next layer is again from the feather collection from Anna Griffin, and you might have seen I put a picture on Facebook of some cutting work that I'd done, and this was part of it. There's another section as we go along that was the actual picture, but from the feather paper I've cut out some of the floral, I would call them swags, and I've trimmed them. I've got 3D foam on the edges of them and tape in the middle, and I've cut, it looks like a strange shape, but I wanted the edges for the florals, and then that way I could use it in my project. So I've got tape towards the centre and 3D foam on the edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to position these just in our shadow frame box towards the top, with the edges just hanging over the edge of the cardstock on our previous layer. I'm going to try and marry them up so that they're both roughly about the same at either side, like so, and I can press them down. Now I haven't shown you the photo yet that I'm going to use, but I will do, I promise. I've taken one of the stickers from the Anna Griffin crown embellishment set. I've got 3D foam on the back of it, and I'm going to position it towards the bottom of our shadow box, just roughly about there. There we go. Now I can actually start adding my photo. Now, because we're running along with the theme of love and romance throughout the week, this is another photo from my wedding day, and you can see my bouquet. I had ivory roses and blue hydrangeas with greenery, and it was just so beautiful, and I do still have it. And this was taken outside of the chapel where we got married. We were sat on a bench, and it was just one of those pictures that it was taken, we weren't posing, we were chatting, but it just looks so good. I've got confetti in my hair, and oh, it was just such a perfect day. I've die cut it into an oval, and then I've die cut one of the paisley papers from Anna, and I'm going to simply add the photo onto the layer of paisley paper. There's 3D foam on the back of the photo, and there's 3D foam on the back of the oval layer. Now I'm going to simply position this over the top of our cut work from the feather paper, and I'm going to kind of try and get it in the middle. There we go. Press it down. Next, I've taken, now this is where the cut work actually happened, shall we say. The cut work that I showed on Facebook, and I think I might have shared it on Instagram as well. And I've cut it out from one of Anna's feather papers, and then underneath I've created a layer from the coloured feather papers as well. I've got both on 3D foam, and then I've taken one of the stickers from the Artfully Said collection from Anna from a few years ago. I've matted it onto cardstock from the Perfect palette, and then I've matted it onto some of the darker feather paper as well. Now I know it looks like an odd shape, but I've actually cut it so that it's going to fit underneath the layer of paper cut that I've created from the feather paper, and it's just going to sit underneath our cutting so that you can see it says celebrate this day, and then it's all going to be popped onto our shadow box page. There we go, and you can see how this little bit of feathering is going to sit just over the photo, and the sides where I've cut it out are going to go up the side of the oval like so. There we go. So I can press that down. Next, I've got some flowers that are from the easel card making kit from Anna, and there's 3 roses, and I'm just going to position these at either side of the actual picture and the sentiment, because I want to see if I can get them in position. I've also taken 2 of the larger stickers, again from the easel card making kit for her, and just pop those either side of the photo like that. And I think they look as though they're in position, so I can press those down. They were on 3D foam rather than as a sticker, just to give them a little bit more height. Now I've taken one of the embellishments from the Anna Griffin crown embellishment kits, and I've also got 3D foam on the back of it, so it's the bow that I'm using, and I'm just simply going to position that to the top of my photo like so. If I bring that down a little bit, there we go, and I can press that down. So in theory our scrapbook page is finished. However, I want to decorate the frame because I really want to make it stand out, and I want people to think, wow, you must have spent a lot of time on that. So now we're going to decorate the frame, and this is where the majority of our die cuts come in. I've die cut Anna's blue metallic cardstock using the actual beautiful trimmings die and the embossing folder, and then I've die cut the darker feather paper, and I've used that as a shadow layer underneath, and I've added 3 of my own little pearl gems in the centre. I've got double-sided tape on the back, and I'm simply going to remove the tape, and I'm going to add the layers around the edge of my frame and do the same for all 4 sides. Now don't panic where the paper doesn't match, reach the edge should I say, because we're going to cover our corners, so you can always cover it if you're not confident or you make a mistake. So we'll just do our 4th side, and there we go. So that's all 4 sides with our edges. from our beautiful trimmings. Now for the corners, I've taken the corner die, I've die cut it, and I've snipped out the actual pattern because it's just this section and the heart that I want. And I've got flat tape on the back, and I'm simply going to position 4 of these in the corners, all 4 corners, and there we go. That's the 3rd one and the 4th one, like so. Next, I've die cut the mini fans. If you remember when we looked at the dies at the beginning, I've used the mini fan ornate die and used the same blue metallic cardstock, and then the shadow layer I've used the darker of the feather paper, and I'm going to attach it just to the centre of our actual corner, like so. And then I've added pearls just along the edge, just at the top of the ornate pattern. So we're covering those corners and making it really pretty on the outside as well as the inside. So I'm just going to turn it round so I can see to do the top 2. And there we go. So you see the fans are just so beautiful and work so well with so many different things. There we go. So now, I mean, it just looks like a piece of artwork now, and that's the kind of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to finish it off with just a few more flowers just in the corners, and I'm just going to lay the flowers on top because I don't know which way around I want them to go yet. So I might have got it right first time and I might not. So the flowers are covering the centre of the fans, and they just work so well. Again, these were from the easel card making kit for her, and I think we'll go that way with that one, following a pattern as it goes round, or maybe not. And last but not least, the final one to finish it off. Now I think that truly is now a masterpiece, and I'm going to be displaying that because it just looks so pretty, and I hope it's given you ideas of how you can use maybe leftover embellishments or mix and match your older items from your Anna Griffin range, incorporate them into scrapbooking. And on Monday we made a picture card using our paper tricks and paper folding, and if I show you the detail on that now, and it works, it all works so well, and the colours tone in, and I'm really happy with my project. I just think that's perfect. Now obviously, well, maybe not obviously, you're maybe not going to post this. I'm hoping that you might display it, and then, you know, if you do post it, you would probably need a lot of packing for this one, just to make sure that your embellishments and everything stay in place. If you are posting it, I would use some glue with it as well, just to ensure that everything stays where you put it. And I just think that's a fabulous gift for anyone, and anyone would love to receive something like that. What a great video. Do you know what? This week I've loved having a theme, and it's been great having the theme of love and romance. And today's project, it's just beyond words really. It's so pretty, and you saw how easy it comes together. Now I've just dropped the top bit down a little bit if it looks a bit different from when we created it on the video, only because when you sat looking at it, it's different to looking over it. And I dropped it down so that you could see the bow and the even more detail. I do hope you've enjoyed the theme, and I hope you've enjoyed today's project, because it's been great bringing you something a little bit more ornate, and I want to say advanced, but I don't really mean advanced. You don't have to be advanced to create it. It is I can't keep my eyes off it actually, because I keep looking down and it's just so beautiful, the detail on it, and you can see the shadow and the layers. It is a wowzer. So please feel free to share my videos. I'm going to be taking a week off now and recharging my crafty batteries. I shall be back on the 1st of July. So it just remains for me to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.